very warm welcome to you, my viewers. This is the Marriage Corner Show with Viona, and today's episode is going to be lit. Our guest today is Mr. and Mrs. Mutisya, and their story is something that I want you to really hear. They have promised me that they're going to tell us the truth and nothing but the truth, and I'm sure that in that truth they will share with us how they have been able to make their marriage better and stronger. I cannot wait to hear more, and I hope you're also as eager as I am. And with that, allow me to introduce them, or to allow them to introduce themselves. Do tell us your name, what you do for a living, and anything else you'd like us to know about you. Karibuni sana.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so my name is Victor Mutisya. I'm a Christian, and also I'm a father of one, and also I'm a husband of one. Beautiful wife, you know, as they say, manze, you know, about my work. I'm in computer engineering, so to break down my work is I fix motherboards for motherboards, and also get to boost the motherboards, especially for laptops and servers. Yeah, so many clients actually. It's so interesting with Kenya. People buy entry level and mid-range laptops, and they do heavy work like architecture, animation, post-production, and they want it to perform, but it can't. So I usually chip in, make them 10 times, 20 times faster, so that their work is easy. So that's my life.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Karibu, Victor.
Asante sana.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Kez. This is Mutisya. A mother of one, Taraji. I'm also, by the grace of God, born again. And I do makeup, but I'm a full-time mom.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thank God for that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Karibuni sana again.
Asante.
Wow. Thank you, Victor, for that part where you've told us that we need to upgrade our machines. That's a very common problem.
It's very
common. You
common.
buy a machine and you're wondering why it's too slow for you. Kumbe it's you bought the wrong one.
Yeah.
Okay, sawa. All right, you guys. Now, here we are, Marriage Corner. We want to hear your love journey. But before we go to that, please tell us where you grew up, and a bit about your beginning, before you guys met and all that. So I'll start with you, Victor. Where did you grow up? Did you have dreams that are different from what you're doing today?
You know, they're looking for other 10, but I found the perfect one.
Oh, okay.
So, my background is so simple, yani. I grew up in Buruburu, phase 2. I used to love playing football big time. But, you know, my parents were like, if this kid continues to play, he will continue to be the tail of the class. So they had to take me to a boarding school. That's where I learned manze to read. And so by God's grace, I was able to really love books. So I went to university and I started to learn about these things with computer. I did computer and electronics engineering. And also I fell in love with dance.
Okay.
Yeah, so I loved dancing, and I joined a certain group called Nairet. It's in Jekwat. So there we were producing different skits, different plays, and there was also dance involved. We used to call ourselves dance workshop.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
So there, I think years later, I met a certain close friend of mine. He was called Alex. So we loved to dance together, go to different weddings, get to surprise the groom will surprise the bride, and he will call us, he will give us the song that she likes, and then we will dance to the song exact. And it was so amazing. So I actually thought that was my future, you know. So it was there I used to hear about Kez from this best friend of mine.
Okay.
You know, he would come and say, "Oh, man, life is so hard. You know, things are so difficult, but there is this girl, Victor, this girl called Kezzia. Oh, I love her so. She's so generous, so kind, you know. So she will talk about her, you know, so much. And I was, you know, having no clue that we'll meet. I'll just listen and get to, you know, to understand him, get to, you know, appreciate this lady from afar that I've never met. Kumbe, hehe. Hapo tutaongea.
Okay.
Yes.
Remind me to ask you what his intentions were in a bit. Kezzia,
Okay.
tell us about your background, kidogo too.
I also grew up in Nairobi, Eastlands area, Umoja.
Okay.
And I also studied there. And I also went to Jomo Kenyatta University of Nairobi. Jicho, am I saying it in full? Yeah, and I studied information technology.
Yeah.
And I'm also into technology, but also along the way, my passion grew into the beauty industry, makeup, and also, that's what I've been practicing. But I also practiced technology for a while, and then now I ventured into makeup full time.
Okay. Dreams, what are your dreams before you, you know,
Doctor.
became- okay. You wanted to be a doctor?
Yeah.
But then again, I started with neurosurgeon. Remember after we read that book?
Which one? Oh, okay. Ben Carson.
Yes.
Okay, you wanted to be Kenya's Ben Carson.
But then, and then I said, let me be a nurse. And then, but I thank God. God knows.
I know.
Okay, so what's the story about Ebu? You tell us now. Pick up from there.
I pick up now. Chatuichukue sasa. Where were we? You know. So I remember now. I think there was a part. You know, there was an year in my life. It was so difficult. It was a watershedding moment for me because it was so difficult. And I think that there is where now friends are defined, and also yourself literally get to be put on the test. You know, who's Victor. So in that difficult life I was in, that friend of mine, Allah, was so close. He really used to bring a lot of comfort, you know, encouraging me and telling me, you know, after all these things, God will vindicate you, you know. He has a good future for you, so don't be discouraged, you know. I remember a day I did not have any food, so when I went to see him in the morning, he gave me literally his breakfast, you know. And I'm like, niko hizi, wewe tujibonde jibambe, you know. I mean, it was just amazing seeing such a level of humility and level of love that he was able to display, the love of Christ, you know. And so that's when I met Kez kidogo at Deliverance Church Umoja. Okay. So I'll see this lady all psyched up, you know, coming and guttering everyone, you know, and chatting with guys. He was psyched up, you know. So Allah told me that is the lady, you know. And because so Kez used to have a group of people. In church, they usually call them mom or dad. So Kez was mom to many people. So Alex was bros, there's these terms they call on another in fellowship so that they keep one another accountable. So I was able to be introduced to Kez, and I think, but I had no interest. I was just like, oh, this is Kez, okay, awesome. Mm-hmm. But fast forward 2014 December, right? Oh man, one of our dear friend called Ruth, she passed. It really broke our heart. She was so close to us. And I remember going to Utawala. I think it was in Utawala, right? You know, we decided to go and just offer all forms of support to their family. And so in that place, we will help in all forms and in all manners. So it was at that place now when Kezzia saw her truly. You know, so one of my friends called Paulette, you know, introduced me to Kez, and my eyes were just fixed on her like, Victor, what wanaomboleza, what are you doing? Okay, I said, okay, to be continued. Okay. So that's where I think I started my interest, and I started literally like being intentional in knowing who is this, because you know, yeah. So
so you've gone to prepare for a friend's burial.
Yeah.
And that's where love finds its way.
But for her,
But at that
it
time,
wasn't.
it was not
Okay.
there.
For her, it was just normal talk and friendship.
Yeah.
But for me, I was intentional. Like, I must go this direction and see. But first, you know, let's care for what's happening. You know.
Yeah.
So during the funeral, we'll get to catch up and talk, and I'll get to know her more. We'll get to participate in helping out in all forms and in all manner. And so come January 2015, I started to pursue her. But it was, you know, it was this still, you know, chini ya maji, the way she wouldn't know, but I'll be so intentional. And yet, I will want to increase her interest for this guy. I want to increase her, you know, her thoughts, you know. So that's the way I did. So I will find ways of talking to her, and at the same time hiding my motive, so that I will allow for her to grow naturally, you know. So I was so intentional. Okay. So there's Lilingia box. It was so sweet. I will send messages like poems and all these things to her. Okay. And when she doesn't respond, I'll not be angry. I'll know, ako kameingia kwa roho. And true to it, because she was telling me later. Man, let me allow her to continue from there.
Before she continues, I want to find out, you've been seeing her and you've been told about her all this time until the burial.
Yeah.
Okay, the burial preparation.
Yeah.
So what was it about this burial preparation? What was it about her that struck you this time differently?
So honestly speaking, I may be maybe indifferent with many people, but for me it was the beauty.
Okay.
It was the beauty. Yeah, it was the beauty. and something inside that I really can't, like, it's just inexpressible. But first it was the beauty, and then something inside, you know, you can't really give words to it because it's so inexpressible. So I had to find out. Only later, now I'm able to say, you know, the hidden treasure of her soul, you know, the level of kindness, the level of love, the level of care, you know, the level of excitement. Oh, it was just amazing. So I was cautious because if you pursue outward appearance as number one, it could literally destroy you, right? Sure. So I had to test and see if there is more to it. You know, so I will test her before the presence of her parents, her friends in the church. And the more, like, I literally will know more about her in all this context. Just all the more drawn in. It was just amazing.
Okay, you girl. Yeah, are you like this right now? Because I'm thinking, hey.
Can I say a small event that happened? Yeah. So that is this time. It's so interesting. It was her birthday on a Sunday. Okay. So they were from the first service in Y Church. So I decided to drive and pick her up and take her to this place. One of our friends called Biggie and Mary, they were planning for a wedding. So it was a music event that they decided to, you know, raise funds through. So as I went to pick her, I'll never forget. So I remember, you know, the Ochi opened the gate and I was slowly driving in and I saw her from afar, right? And so they were coming with a lot of friends, you know, around her. They were just talking, catching up, you know, enjoying them. I don't know, maybe it was the sermon, I can't really say. So I remember when literally I stopped and got out of the car. You know, she was with her friends, and when she saw me, she ran. Man, that was pure love. She ran like it was so amazing, so natural, you know. Man, I was so amazed by this pure love that she displayed.
Okay.
And for me, I was like, mi niko ndani ndani ndani.
You still run.
I think Victor really treasures small things.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, I just went, I went to him, I left my friend. So that gesture, it was really special.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he really likes small things. And
Yeah.
It's the little things of life.
That comes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They shout, actually.
Yeah.
They shout. They don't just speak.
Okay, you
Yeah.
guys. Sawa. Kez, over to you now. Why did you accept, to be with this guy from you'd heard about him? For you said it wasn't even like you weren't there. So how did you get to that place where you decided, okay, why not?
Yeah, for Victor, that time when we met, I was not like into like ready for a relationship. I was like, maybe I would wait later. But my prayer was, I was praying for a godly man, and also like a person who will be real, like he will not pretend to be someone else. And then when I met him, I saw the character in him. Number one, he used to like pursue me in the word of God. I was like, hey, this guy knows the Bible.
No.
So some things I never saw in the Bible but used to teach me. I was like, you go kwa Bible, say, let me show you. Like, no, haiko, and then he shows me. So he pursued me in the ways of God, number one. Like, he really wanted me to grow more spiritually. And also, like, he was intentional about it. So I was like, hey, ajifanyi. Sometimes someone might pretend, and for sure, many have pretended, and for him it was true. So yeah, and then he was intentional about sharing materials for me, like to know more about God. So I was like, number one, check.
Okay.
Yeah, and then number two, he was fun, like he was himself, like he wouldn't put like a facade. He used to just be himself. If he's meeting me, he'll come the way he looks. He won't like go and shop for new clothes. He'll just come like, what? Umekuja kuniona hivyo? I was like, like he was just free. He didn't like, so he was real. So those were the things I was like, oh, okay, this guy is real. And then this guy doesn't pretend.
Okay.
The way you see him, that's the way he is. And then he could just speak. He wouldn't hide. If something went wrong, he will tell you. If something was good, he'll applaud you. So he never like shied away. Yeah. So those are the qualities I could. Yeah.
You picked
Yeah.
him.
I
They
didn't know
made
she had a checklist also.
Apparently.
Apparently.
You guys qualified, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we fast forward to you meeting at this burial preparation. That for me, by the way, is something it's quite interesting. But we fast
it's
forward
peculiar.
to you guys now start dating. For how long did you date?
Did it like before engagement?
Yes.
Before engagement, it was like
From?
5 months. 5 months around there. And then he proposed. And then now for engagement, we like 1 year. 1 year.
Tell me about the proposal.
The proposal.
Kezzia. Yes.
Yeah.
How was
so
it?
At me, I want to listen, but
the proposal, Victor planned with our friends that they would come to my home. So before my parents have raised us in a godly way, and they were strict. So before a man would enter our house, I was like, Victor went and asked my dad for permission
Kezzia
to
was
court me.
afraid.
Okay.
First
She was
of
like,
all,
you did
and
it.
then now he went and asked for permission that he wants to engage me, and my parents were honored, and they liked the idea of him being opened, and it was a nice thing. So they planned the engagement with my family and my friends.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was from work. He came and picked me. We went home. They were trying to talk about, like, it was like an interview about courtship. So our friends who were there, they were dating, and then we had our pastor, one of our pastors, and his wife. They were talking about marriage. So I knew my friend is just documenting about courtship, and and marriage, and they were coming to my house. But I was like suspecting something. So why would they come to our house? But I was not sure completely.
Yeah.
And then after that, we did the interview and all that. So after the interview was over, I was like, oh, kumbe, it was real. And then after we started, every time in our house we usually sing and then we pray. So we started singing. I was like, oh, it's the same old fellowship. And then they came, they were in the backyard, they came with a cake, all the friends were there. And then they presented the cake and Victor was there, he knelt down and proposed.
Hey,
It was nice.
Nice.
But it's so interesting. It was so interesting because you know our natural tendency is to really have a lot of cash to do something, especially for men. Like we desire, I mean, it will be more, more awesome in a way. It will be better. But suddenly, I had so little, But I said, what I have, I'll just use it and the Lord will bless it. So I used to pray and plead with God to direct me in the plan. So in my prayer, the Lord will encourage me to honor the parents. I love her parents. Man, the Lord bless them. Their parents, they are so humble and they are so open. And they're lovers of good, and being with such a character of loving that which is good, it will be easy for me even when I express myself, and it is good, they'll appreciate it, right?
For sure.
So the first, as Kezzia said, I went and asked them if they could allow me to date, her daughter, so that we get to know one another, and if the Lord is pleased, tutazidi ndani. So they said yes, and so I wanted to honor them. It was actually Valentine's, right? The following day after Valentine's. So I called, her father. I told him about how it will go about. I really desired to propose in front of them. And this is how it will go. We'll do an interview. We'll talk about the beauty of courtship, heading towards marriage, what's the purpose of it. So it's a documentary being taken by one of our friends called Cash. And then when it's over, we'll do a song. So his bro sings, Naka guitar will sing a song like How Great Is Our God. And when that is happening, our friends will come out with a cake, and Kez will just think it's normal. So when she'll be told to cut the cake, something will pop out. And it will be a piece of letter. And so she'll just start to read Dear Courtship and talking about it, thinking it's still normal. And then when she finishes up, I will intervene and continue speaking about it, and then I will change the whole story and now talk about her. And now she will know this is the moment. So we actually also have a video in YouTube. So that's what we did. And something so amazing with the Lord is that, it's so beautiful when you plan things to be so exact, and it involves a lot of people. It's so difficult. But when it happens to perfection and even more, it becomes just pure awesome, And it was like that, we had the opportunity of doing it exact, and I was able not to see her face to face and pop. Hey, manze kilio liko nanifika hapa, it was so beautifully, and I really loved to do that to her and see also her pure love, being expressed, and and all the people being able to join us in this thing. It was so amazing. We truly thank the Lord.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for planning to make a girl happy. This they call it chivalry.
Oh.
I'm Kikuyu, so chivalry. These things are disappearing with time. But
I know, right?
Thank you for planning to make a girl happy.
But it's true. It's true. There's a sense, we used to say with our friends, we intentionally create moments that will be cherishable. But nowadays it's disappearing. I think it's because of the difficulty. I don't know. Somehow.
We're all chasing life. We're all like this after life. We have to catch up, But wow, that's beautiful. So I want us to fast forward to that. You date, you get engaged, then there's this 1 year. In this 1 year, you're planning a wedding.
Yeah.
It's just one day at a time.
It's 2016 February. We have already engaged. Now the wedding is November 2016, right? So you want to know in between the planning.
I want now to jump to the wedding.
Okay, okay.
So you guys, by this time, I remember you said during the engagement, you didn't have a job, you didn't have money.
Yeah.
So by the time you're getting married, she already has a job. So by the time you guys are getting married, now November, do you have a job? Have you done the dowry manenos? Because nakumbuka hujatuambia proposal actually, you know? So how did you handle the wedding financially? Ama it was friends, ama mlienda kwa DC. Tell us, how was that?
Yeah, thanks so much for that. It's so critical. I'll have to speak in between so that even on the wedding day, one will get to really see, you know, the output of it is because of so many inputs that happened in between. And so the train was going so fast. Like, it's Feb, tuna plan for November. I don't have a job. I need to tell their parents, you know, we are planning November, you know. And so first of all, we had meetings with Kezzia and talked about this thing. And we had landed to October, and then we pushed it to November because one of our friends was also marrying October. So we said, let them take that space, we'll just take the following month. And so it was so difficult because remember, I don't have a job. I told my parents, I'll not marry till I get a job. But, you know, the Lord changed that thought because I remember one day I was dropping Kezzia and you know, I met his father again, and he was like, I think it was somewhere in July, you know, his father told me, you know, Victor, we have passed a lot of difficulties, you know, talking about dowry and seeing how it harms the groom, and how even at times it causes the groom to love less the wife and to discard the parents because alifinywa, he was pressed. And so for me, my son, I just want to tell you, you just bring your parents, we know one another. You know, I wouldn't want to go to town and see them, but even have no clue that they're your parents, you know. So I didn't understand. And so I was like, hey, this kid is not getting. So what I'm trying to say is this, concerning the dowry, just chorea, you know, just leave it, because the Lord gave Kezzia to us free of charge. We took care of her with all the resources that the Lord He gave us, and now she is ready for marriage. We will release her freely and with much blessing. So for me, I was so shocked, and the reason I was so shocked is a few days I was not in a good relationship with my dad. So my mom was asking me, how will you get dowry issues thingy? How will you go through? I just feel like the Lord will show us the way. We just continue planning. And also in the morning I told God, give me a sign, manze. And for me, the sign was, give me a job, you know. And so I was like, what? Because He has done such a thing. In my family also, you know, Taraji now, at least she's a she. So there'll be nothing like dowries and all. And so I told her dad and her mom and how honorable it was for them to do such a thing, how refreshing, how burden-free it is. I'm so excited, you know. And it was actually the sign. And so I went home asking myself, if the Lord did such a thing, why not plan for the marriage, for the wedding? He will provide. And so I went home and told my parents, you know what? At your kazi, wacha ikae. Me, I'm planning. That which is required, itajitokelezea. Hey, my dad was like, hey, boy, hey, hold your horses. I'm like, no, me, I'm going in. So mom was like, let's do this, you know. And so, you know, we started it. And there was a time I told their parents, you know, the train is moving fast, you know. So we need to also, like, go fast and plan these things fast. And so, I could go to the church library. The good thing of not having a job is that I have a lot of time to think and plan. So I was actually the plan. Okay. So I was planning a lot how it will look like. I was telling God I really want a big one. But if you give me a small one, it's okay. Me, I'm easy. But the reason I want a big one is to make his glory to shine. And for people to say, if we who are nothing did such a big thing, and I'll trust the Lord, right? And so I would get to encourage myself, and also one of my friends called Kafash, Dominic, now he's a pastor in our church. He used to encourage me, you guy. He used to tell me, Vicky, let's do this. If Jesus' first miracle was in a wedding setup, not even marriage, a wedding setup, it's not significant as you compare with marriage. Marriage is such a big thing, and a small thing. He did his first miracle. Will you not be pleased in your planning and in the wedding? Where panga manze, we go in. And so we used to pray. I used to tell Kezzia, we are going in. Kezzia was like, manze, we have little. Ama we push it to Feb, Victor, because the way things are, we are not getting anything. So I told Kezzia, let's trust in the Lord, He will provide. And so I remember in my plannings and all these things, getting an opportunity to talk with his dad. And one thing, I really love his dad so much. He is such a humble man. I will tell her, we don't have much, yet we desire to do a big thing. He will tell me, you go in. Don't worry, we are together. When you get such a support, it makes you all the more eager to continue planning. I'll go to church and tell my pastor, Murungi, Pasi, should we do this or should we postpone? He will say, even if you have little, pursue it. Let's do this, I'll come to Kez. Kez will tremble and tell me, 2 months I can't see and I really want to. Just do it. And so Kez brought even a more difficult thing. Do you know how many, they're called brides party? They call bridesmaid and grooms.
Groomsmen.
Do you know how many we were?
How many?
And remember, I don't have anything. Okay. Oh, it's insane. 15. So Kez was telling me she wants 20.
2020.
Remember, 2020, I'm like, wow, man, atakali kona trust Mungu, man. Una add more burden, and I remember, her work, ekona salo big, it was a small salary. So she will come, man, her heart is just beautiful. She will come and give me the balance and tell me, Vicky, this is yours, you plan. Imagine. She will forsake a lot of things and give and trust me and say, you plan. Okay. Man, not a great humility. And so we changed like 28, 24K, and we decided to hold an event called Whose Love Story. So people will come, they will eat, they will watch different performances being done on stage, and through that we'll add more profit. At least we'll get to see how we can add more profit. And so through it, we invested it to use the 2,800, and we got, I think, 28,000 and got, I think, 124K. Yay. Imagine. Manze, God came through, and the love that guys were literally putting in. Manze, it's just amazing. Yeah, so it was so awesome seeing literally God working, like friends chipping in and getting to share these things. It was just amazing. Wow. Yeah.
So I'm assuming the wedding went through flawlessly. You were able to get up for everything he had planned. This is the first time I'm hearing a groom who planned a wedding. So
because it's understandable because she's busy at work from it's 9 to 8. Different shifts. Like it was intense for her. So I had to go visit her. We'll go for a Java, get to discuss a few things, come together, drop her, come back home. I mean, it was crazy. But the good thing, again, the support of the parents was also amazing because the parents got to meet and said they will decide to put a pre-wedding party or something where they meet and get to changa. Sure. And so I remember even it was on October, right? And so concerning her about the 20 bridesmaid, that word, we settled to 15. And so we were able to choose And I think like a few remaining, we decided, hey, because we're intentionally doing a big wedding for God's glory, the few that we have, let's choose people in amongst our friends and in the church that it will be difficult for people to choose, maybe for one reason or another. So let's choose wale watu amumuonangi, like wale watu mtamuona, it will be so difficult. Maybe they live so far, so they came to live here, so they don't have friends. They haven't grown deep with friendship with other people because they have just came juicy. So we'll do that. We'll get to choose wasi, and we chose them. And it was so beautiful. Hey, they were super happy. We paid for them. I remember one pal telling me, Vicky, unanieka kwa lineup and I don't have anything. I'll sort you. That in my mind, I have 0 shillings. But I was trusting the Lord, you will provide, And so the pre-wedding party came, guys came. Hey man, guys were giving. My goodness. And one thing, we were so intentional with the MC. We told him, don't try to coerce people. This way of saying, this one has given this amount. Hey, wait. Nani's got 10,000. So you're wondering, the one who has 5 shillings, like, atasikia so pained kuenda pale, like, because inakuwa natangazwa. So we said, we'll just play games. This one will be raised, the amount will be bought, like that. If people are contributing, they'll contribute, but will not tangaza. We were counting the amounts. We were actually counting even shillings. Imagine. And it was a lot. It was a lot. And so we truly thank the Lord that he really touched people. Guys were so overjoyed. It was to end at 6, but guys left at 8 p.m. Like they couldn't, because it had already quishad, but literally, guys stayed because of the joy. And so with all that amount, we were able to plan well. And the wedding, it came. And people were offering their souls, like, it was just amazing.
Look at you just like
Yeah. It was really nice.
It was so nice.
You're just stamping, yeah.
Approving it, yeah.
Before we go for a very short break, which we are about to go for, why 20 members?
Why? That's a good question. In fact, I never asked that.
Why we?
I know. Oh no. I think I love people. I love people. And I had so many friends, so they wanted to be part of this journey with us. So even some were like, hey, Kezzia and Sikose. and yeah, but we thank God it went well. Yeah, we love people, so we're like, yeah, let's do this. And it went well. The dresses were made on time, they kept time, and we never got late, thank God. And yeah, they were all cooperative. Time for hair, time for makeup, time for dress fitting. Yeah, we never even had like any challenge. Like I said, 3 bridesmaids were kusumbua, and then that time I had a challenge because my phone was stolen, and then now I had to look for like a very small phone, like to communicate. Imagine now having to create a group with a very bad phone. So, but it all went well. So coordinating
so well.
them,
What was the highlight for you in the wedding? What was that one thing that you'll never forget? See you smile ahead. What was that?
At the wedding?
Yes.
Was it from home or in the church?
Like
I have so many highlights.
What is that has made you so attached to that? What was it?
Yes, so many things. I think, walking down the aisle, it was amazing. And then Victor, when we were saying our vows, he cried.
Yeah.
Did you join him?
No, I had cried a lot. Like before. So I said, let me not cry. So I was like, focus. Because if I started, I was like, no, Makabashi, no, give me tissues. Yeah, so I said I would cry, but yeah, that was, and the vows that we said, like, now this is before you, before God, and before the church. So it was very solemn. It was a very solemn time for us. So, yeah.
Wow. So I remember that night after the wedding, party preparations, hizi vitu za kuchanga do. We were counting the money together with my love. at Pastor Murungi's place. And wow, we were extremely thankful that the Lord touched so many hearts to freely give, to cheerfully give. It was so amazing. I could look back and really want to cry. In fact, the place that my wife is talking about that I cried, there's a very strong reason behind it. So I was saying, but there was a story behind it, So many people hakukona yona cause ilikuwa amazing sana. So on that day, man, we were so excited. I remember, man, it's really beautiful having loyal, loving friends who love Jesus. Like, they will take a task, exceed it, give it beyond, and manze, it will shine for his glory. And even really kwa that day, guys were coming. There's one of my friend called JT. He just came and took my phone and akaniambia, hii simu kuanzia sahi ni mimi ndo nazishika zote, And he went and alinisaidia sana. The chairman Jotuagi Mumwangi, that tall dude. He was the chairman. So alikuwa na a lot of activities. I could see him behind the scene tunacheka. The way he gave his all, man, it was so beautiful. I'm really indebted to so many people because the way guys were taking roles, it was just amazing, And so that day lifika, one of my special part kwa wedding, the wedding vows. I mean, the words that were written there zilikuwa so touching sana. The famous one we all know. But ikiisha, looking at her, oh man, and I will be with her forever and ever and ever on earth, of course. I mean, so, like, this is it. Nimekuwa nikidream of, like, to have a relationship with her. And here she is, all beautiful, all glamorous, And manze, finally na get kuandika. So ilikuwa imeandikwa, God be my helper. And mimi have kuongeza, and God be my ever faithful helper. Because I was working, the time we started, slowly by slowly and slowly, and seeing just how God alikuwa na come through. Mambo beard. What? And so nikaanza kulia because naambia God, nilianza with nothing, but namkatu nikipray tu in the silent, nikiambia manze, Lord, wewe ndo unaniongoza njia bana, wewe gusa ase cause mimi siwezi, mimi nifanye ile mimi naweza. And every single plan unek inakuwa perfectly done. And then all of that ni glory yake shine na my lovely wife as I get to behold, na I get to enjoy the presence, and he come through. Oh man, it was just amazing. And so lastly, I remember, which will now transpire to the wedding, I didn't get a job even afterwards, but what really happened in the gifts, like people were so overjoyed, and so in their giving, they literally gave up so much, mpaka ilitushikilia mpaka the following year July, and ukumke sikuwa na job. So mimi sikuwa najua it was to come through even to July, but mimi nilikuwa tu na simple na trust Mungu. Ile njia atatupeleka, akitupeleka the hard way, we will go to still trusting him. Akitupeleka the strong way, I mean, it is his glory. So ilikuwa amazing sana. And so yeah, and I thank God sana for such an awesome event that I'll get kuweka for his glory. Na pia sisi for our great joy. Tulibambika. Kezzia alikuwa like, hey Aisha, let's do it again. Yeah.
Alright. Now, I want us to close this part of our talk. But before we do that, I'll ask Kez to start us off. And this guy has talked a lot about the faithfulness of God. He came through for you, and that we cannot even dare ignore. So in that, you will have your own words to express yourself. But using that very camera, please speak to girls who may be planning weddings or planning to settle, and they're wondering how will we make it. You had the issue of we don't have finances, maybe let's push it. So you might have a word or two for the girls.
First of all, my advice is prayer. prayer. Indeed, God answers prayer, and He is faithful to accomplish what he wants to do. And don't give up. Don't lose hope. God's timing is the best. We keep on hearing God's timing is the best. Indeed, it is the best, and in His time, He makes all things beautiful. So never lose hope. Prayer, and of course, there are times where anxiety comes and you become fearful, but do talk to your fiance and maybe pray about it, and he'll encourage you, or talk to someone. I know. All things work together for good.
True.
Wow, that's beautiful. Victor, what do you have to say, or what do you have to tell the young men who are planning their weddings? They could be facing challenges, even maybe no challenges. Well, on a tricky or smooth. There's your camera.
Wamesema yote manze, hata sijui nasema nini, so mi niko sawa, anyway, so we have like 2 opportunities tumekuwa nazo ni kwa best couple ya mabeste yetu kadhaa, and it's so interesting sana. I never knew we were actually speaking to people's life until they came, and so nakumbuka later, wasanaanza kupanga widow and coming to us and encouraging them and telling them, and later they were telling us, vikitu liona widow yenyu, tukashanga jamaa ana nothing na anapanga kitu big. I mean, umse yuko poa kweli, alafu hapo natuambia tu pray no trust. Mwashanga, what's wrong with this dude, and they were so amazed what happened, that they actually went also with our example, trusting the Lord. It's so peculiar when you look to God and when you trust Him. He gives you the right directions to go. It's so amazing. It's so amazing, because such a thing is actually foolishness to the world. But to one who anajua, my Father is in heaven, my friend is Christ Jesus, and there is one who lives in me to guide me through, called the Holy Spirit. Manze atakusaidia. That is His character, His steadfast love and His faithfulness, And so let's encourage us so much. Trust in the Lord. Look to God, To look back and to get kuona wala say literally wame pull through. Hata kama wameitwa wafanye dowry, and walipe dowry. Imekuwa amazing sana that through the fighting of, negotiation and all these things, bado God ame come through. Amesema wewe ndio umeitishwa. Kuna after siwezi kupatia shika, and wame get literally wife before. Now can get married. So I really call you guys, if you don't know the Lord, I really plead with you. Mjue, so that you get to experience this life of walking with Him. He is so amazing. If you are saved and you yearn for marriage, pray to God, look to Him, skiza the advice of godly people, and truly He will help you. That I can trust, and that I can therefore say.
Wow, guys, what a lovely testimony. Guys, it is possible. It is possible to glorify God even during your wedding, with or without finances. This is a couple that trusted God, and from 28,000, their savings, they were able to raise 124,000. I cannot even emphasize greater on just how much they had faith, And so, Victor, I want to appreciate you for having, planned a beautiful proposal and then planned a glorious wedding. I'm sure wherever Daddy is, he's clapping for you. So, wow, guys. Congratulations, Victor. To you, my viewers, this is the end of part 1, and we will be back with part 2 next week as this wonderful couple takes us through what it has been like since the wedding. This is the Marriage Corner Show. I am your host, Viona Gethenji, and just in case you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we are Jicho TV Kenya, and it is the same also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next week, kwaheri.